Hello again and welcome back. I have still not uploaded all the previous episodes I've recorded since I started playing again. But 48 hours now after my last episode. I got a few hours to record.
Show me what you got.
I got a few hours open to record while everyone's off for a doctor's visit. So I'm just gonna go through. I figured, hey, I don't know if I'm going to continue recording this series, but for now, it's doing pretty. I might as well. I got a few hours open. And my gear is all in absolutely horrid condition. Is this the Pella's house?
A fisherman's hut. Seems she wants me to take a closer look.
No, we are going the wrong way for the Pella's house.
Who's that? The room. Go on now.
What you seek here, sir? Our hut's out of the way. Woeful. We has nothing. We knows nothing.
Just need information. Looking for two women, the Bloody Baron's wife and daughter.
Not a soul have been here, sir.
Sure? Not even passing through? Daughter's medium height, about 20. Her mother's thin, about 40. Seen them?
That sir came at night, right, Mummy? Quiet, boy.
I'm surprised no one's noticed the lubberkin looking, horrid looking thing hovering in the window, staring at them.
Where'd the girl go? Your son said enough, no point in playing dumb anymore.
Sorry, sir, but you don't look like one of our father's men.
Because I'm not. I'm looking for Tamara and her mother. I need to know if they're alive and safe.
Tamara is, hi. She's to my brother's place in Oxenford. But Mrs. Anna, that's another tale. Though anywhere's better than to crow's perch with a baron.
Why?
Cause he beat her, sir. Beat Mrs. Anna, I means. Everyone knew, but not a one lifted a finger for to stop it.
Oh, because of his reputation.
What happened to Tamara's mother?
'Twere like this. I was awaiting in the old smokehouse with horses. Cold as hell and so dark, couldn't see past 2 ells in front of you. Moon had risen high, and still they hadn't come. Began to fear some demon had snatched them. But finally they came forth, and we sets off towards the river. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a gale arose. Thought it'd tear my head off. And those damn birds, swarms of them coursing o'er the woods, raising a racket to make your ears bleed. Mrs.
That's
Anna
the witch I heard of?
bent over into herself. Tamara knelt down, gripped her arms. 'Twere then I saw it. Fiery marks on her hands.
Oh. Isn't that the same mug that was on the caretaker of those children?
What marks?
They's, well, like burned on with hot iron. On the palms, inside.
Burned? Like a cattle brand?
Aye, though these wasn't black scars scabbed over. They's hot and glowing, as if they burned with raw fire.
Yeah.
Fine. What happened next?
Grew even darker. Seemed someone had put out the stars. Crickets all went silent of a sudden, and then, from the woods, a roar. Broke out in a cold sweat.
Is it
Before
that
could
werewolf
catch
I
my
killed?
breath, a beast jumped out of the woods, big as a barn, with horns and 2 burning coals for eyes.
Nope.
I thought I was done for. Beast attacked Mrs. Anna's horse, ripped its head off, carried her off into the woods. Our horses, mine and Miss Tamara's, got spooked and tore off willy-nilly. 'Twere the only reason we escaped.
The miss wanted to go back for her mother, but my wife pleaded, said she'd die out there alone. Miss Tamara agreed not to go.
Yeah. I kind of thought it would be a different witch or something after I had met the crones. For the simple reason of they didn't exactly seem to be involved.
A while back I met a woman in Crookback Bog. Had fiery marks on her skin like the ones you described.
Must be her, Mrs. Anna. Gods, she's a Crookback Bog.
It's where I saw her last.
Gods of all the heavens protect us. 'Tis clear now who's whispered to her in the night.
It is?
The crones took her. She must have made a deal with them. A pact. It's why they marked her and took her like she was their own.
Thanks for your help.
The lady. She'll be alright in the end, won't she?
Hopefully.
I'll do what I can to see that she is.
Maybe they picked her up as a new caretaker of children. Considering that the current one seems...
So here our paths
like 80.
diverge. Thank you, Dea. Go in peace.
Doesn't even disappear, just speeds off into the distance. Oh, I got more perks. Let's go take a look at that. What was I messing with last? That's good. Oh yeah. That's also useful. Let's put 2 in here. And 2 more in strong attacks. Oh! Can deflect arrows now. I got a new perk slot. That's anything more than 50. There we go. Oh. Oh, we're talking to the Baron first. Good. Roach, why are you all the way back there? Well, at least the castle's not too far. That's far enough away that if that whatever it was roaring, the castle probably didn't hear it. But what is this little hut where they buried Dea? I don't quite remember the story of how they got this fort. I imagine it's based on an older structure, either abandoned or ruined before he came here. Or hello. Okay, that's done with. Not much point taking Roach across. Would have to abandon him soon enough as to make no difference. Need to remember to sell my junk before we get too much further.
This downpour's a bastard.
No, I could probably craft replacement of the gear I have on me right now.
Remember me?
No.
Stable hand pulled you out of the fire.
We'll never forget that. Here, I'm grateful.
Oh, better than nothing.
Witcher, a word, please.
You look greasy.
What is it?
That night when the Baron ordered everyone to lock their doors, stay inside. What did you and the Baron do?
Gotta ask the Baron about that. Speaking of which, know where he is?
Garden. Spends a lot of time sitting there of late.
Drunk.
No. Don't drink, don't eat. Just sits.
Oh, you're his sergeant. Still a very greasy little fellow. I'm wondering, who maintains this? This doesn't just grow without someone coming in and keeping an eye on it. I probably need some of this. Put some recipe at some point. You have paper. Oh, from back when he was in the Temerian army.
There you are.
I should probably give that back.
See the hollyhock there? The violet blooms. Brought the plants here from Nazaire. Anna had read some story. Insisted on having them. Spent hours tending to them, trimming, pruning. She was so content at that. And them, the frilly ones, are called birds of paradise in Zerrikania. But Tamara called them dragons of paradise. She adored them. Damn shame I'll never learn which blooms would please Dea most. Though it's good to know her spirit's free.
Your loss. It must hurt. Bad. But there wasn't anything we could do.
No. Not now. Not anymore. It was too late. That was clear. Should have acted earlier. Taken them all from this damned felon. In this hole. This reesty mire. Nothing could go right here.
Got some information about your family.
You've learned something? Well, let's go inside. It's a bit chilly out.
Aww.
Any news for me?
You know, when
Your
I
daughter's
first
in Oxenford.
met him, I didn't think he would be
What the
such a nice
blazes?
character.
She all right? In good health? Safe? Why haven't you brought her back?
Never offered to do that.
How do you know she's safe? You see her at least?
No.
And
but
I
talked to the
I
man
like
who
how they
helped her
added that
escape
slight
and then took
tilt
her
to
in.
the end of the...
Tamara
and you
is
haven't
safe
brought it
and
back
sound.
since to make it
From
not
what I gathered,
insulting
she
but
has no
questioning.
desire to see you again. No intention to return.
I shan't trust some peasant dolt. I shan't trust whoever it is helped her. I need to know for certain she's safe. Go to her. You must be sure. See her yourself. I shan't believe anyone else.
Fine, I'm not heading back that way anyway. Eventually.
That much I can do.
I'm grateful. Take this, call it enticement, and this might prove useful.
What is it?
A letter of safe conduct. Ever since the Redanians took hold of the Pontard Delta, they made it damned hard to get to Novigrad without one. Very well. You were to find them both. What of Anna? Learned anything?
We'll talk about her, don't worry. But right now, you'll tell me about Ciri, just like we agreed.
Fine. The word once given.
Once again, illustrating that you were supposed
Ciri
to
was
come
on the
here
mend. We
first.
took her out on a hunt. Thought a bit of galloping would warm up her limbs, gone stiff from so much bed rest.
Oh, another series section.
That lass of yours, pure luck in the flesh. To hunt down a wild boar that size, why, worthy of one of King Foltest's feasts, were he still among the living.
Rest in peace.
Ciri, come! Our haunt should be yours as I see it.
Aye, you done well, lass.
Not bad. Not bad at all. But who goes boar hunting with a sword?
No bow at hand, no
That
spear.
looked less like a boar,
Sword
more
was
like
all
a
I had.
ugly piglet monster.
Well, you brandished it beautifully. Where'd they teach you that, anyway?
At Kaer Morhen.
Witcher school there, aye. But they only took lads as I recall.
I'm not a witcher. Just grew up there.
I believe it, seeing how you swing that sword. Know any of them potions?
Not so much. A bit.
Because you see, at times I get this pinching back here.
Shut it, Egrin. Nobody cares about your backside. A woman could swing a sword. I've knowed one. But never seen a lady mount anything but a cock proper. All tipsy on horseback. Nothing strange on account they bloody mount them sideways.
Perhaps you'd care to wager.
Think you can outrun me on an horse? Naturally. What's the
Don't
stake?
insult people who ride side saddle.
Black mare. The one in the stable.
Oh, that won't do it all.
What happened? You get the jitters?
No.
So why not?
The horse is mine.
To race the Baron himself. I'd consider it an honour.
Oh, that'd be a sight to behold.
Would it ever?
Done. And if I win, I take your sword.
Agreed.
That's
But not drink any
Quite
more
a
this
bit.
night. You'll want your head about you. And we start at daybreak.
that sword seems quite precious to her after all. She named it and everything. Wait, Velen's northern Temeria? Huh. Thought this would be like southeast at best. Well, southwest considering we're by the coast.
The day dawns.
Ready?
As ever. First one to the tower.
Man chop!
To be clear, the white horse is mine, right? Oh good, we don't have to sprint towards the
Come on,
horses.
silly, don't you embarrass us!
Your sword is mine!
That'll be the day.
Yeah, let's not lose Ciri's sword
Kick it!
in the past.
Show how it's done!
This is a nice area. The kind of place you would wish to be in like a Skyrim or Fallout game. That was a short race.
You're wind, not woman. Worthy of the best horse. The mare is yours.
Thank you.
However, she seems attached to the white horse. Oh!
Another chance to win.
Wait, I thought Ciri didn't have a silver sword. Or something like that.
She screamed like a mad woman. In an instant, all had forgotten the wager. Every man ran to save his skin, even worried to break his neck.
And they make it?
Some, aye. Others were not so fortunate. But what happened then? I must say, Witcher, seen a lot, but nothing like this. Never.
Uh-oh. I know that look.
You're a fast learner. You'll know the rest once you find my wife.
So I'll get to actually fight the griffin. Maybe
Got
someday
news
I'll
to your
ask him.
wife.
Maybe when I come back for the
Why'd
rest
you
of the
not say
story.
so forthwith? Where is she? Why have you not returned with her?
She's in Crookback Bog. Got food, a place to live, and keeps herself busy. Didn't look like she had the slightest desire to leave.
You were to bring her back, not report
Oh,
on
that.
the conditions
It is
she
the
lives
old
under.
woman.
I was supposed to find her, and I did. That was our deal, nothing more.
You still think me rotten to the core?
No, I do
A
not.
base bastard, don't you? You believe I alone am at fault for what happened here?
I think you mean well.
Doesn't matter what I believe.
Yet, looking at you, I see contempt. Can't speak for the world you witches inhabit, but in ours, nothing is ever black and white.
Probably gonna say you're not the only one to blame. Alright then, I'm willing to hear your side of the story.
I refuse to believe, by the way, that woman in the swamp was only 40.
With Annie, it was love at first sight. A spear tore through my shoulder at the Battle of Anchor. She tended to my wound. Once I'd recovered, I asked her to marry me. She wept with joy. Soon after, Tamara was born. And after that, they sent me to Sidaris. A warlord had risen against King Ethan.
Ethan was the king of Redania, right?
It was one battle to the next. One conflict after
Before
another.
Letho showed up, at least.
It was a life of war. I was seldom home, and I found comfort in drink. Grew so fond of hooch, I couldn't part with it when I did get home.
Not going to say that bottom put. I don't really like it so far when Geralt just lays into the Baron.
Alright. What then?
I went from front to front, battle to battle, collecting soldiers' coin, while Anna sat alone with the babe for months. Later, I learned she'd not been so alone after all. For nearly 3 years, she'd found comfort in the arms of one Evan, a childhood friend, a dog's bunghole. Understand, damn it? One tussle in the hay I'd have waved aside, put it out of my mind. But the woman cuckolded me for years, without a whisker of concern for me, for my love.
How'd you find out?
Came home one day and Anna was gone. The things too. Found a letter. She wrote that she didn't love me. That she'd left me for that knob licker and taken Tamara with her. Felt like I'd been rammed in the arse by a horse. I went to find the bugger, to get the girls back, bring them home. Yet soon as I saw him, something turned inside me, something dark. I slaughtered the shit-eating twat and fed his carcass to the dogs.
Guess they call you the Bloody Baron for a reason after all.
What?
Your nickname. Makes sense now.
No, that's an entirely different story.
Imagine I
It does
wasn't
mark a
exactly
trend.
pleased.
Ha! Bloody understatement if I've ever heard one. She flew into a fit, hysteria, threw herself at me, kicking and clawing. Finally grabbed a knife. It would have been the end of me if I'd not leapt aside. It was the first time I hit her. I had to calm her. Felt I had no other means. Things changed. They would never be the same. Anna tried to take her own life, and mine, several times. She would prod me, goad me, taunt me, in the hope I would hit her again, perhaps. She'd scream that I'd robbed her a life of love, that I'd destroyed the idea for her, and so might as well kill her. How many times I apologized. How many armfuls of blooms and gifts I brought. She cared not a bit. 2 years of her anger had turned to indifference, broken at times by her bouts of hysteria and my bouts of drunkenness. Cannot fathom how we survived those years, but we did. Though as you know now, not everything was as it might have seemed.
Suddenly that little love letter takes on a new meaning. With Tamara having already been born and him being stuck in a camp healing far away, that letter is suddenly a lot less sincere and touching, knowing all that. Not gonna say the bottom and the second's right out, so let's see how the first is actually said.
You're right. Faults on both sides, yours and hers.
I'm content that you finally see that. Very well then. If you won't bring Anna home, you might at least tell me how she landed in that blasted swamp.
She made a pact with the crones and, well, I think she might have lost her mind.
A pact? What the bloody hell?
She was with child, a child she didn't want to bear. Went to the crones for help. They promised to rid her of the problem in exchange for a year of her service. And they kept their word, in their own twisted way.
What do you mean?
Anna must have thought the child inside her would somehow disappear. Instead, the crones sapped her of strength, and ultimately forced her body to miscarry. I think that's when she started to lose her mind. Then they placed magic tethers on her, tethers that cause great pain when tested. A guarantee she'll pay off her debt.
A pact with witches? Bloody nightmare, sounds like some jest. We must get her out. We can't leave her there.
Venturing into the swamp, even with armed men, is just a bad idea. It's a dangerous place inherently, and I think those crones are a greater threat than anyone realizes.
I'll not sit on my arse waiting for them to return her. Would you wait? Count on their mercy if they had your daughter?
Probably not, but I'm a witcher.
And I'm a husband and a father who's fucked up his life and the lives of his loved ones. I'll gather my men, go there and retrieve Anna.
So would we... Once again, I get the feeling I should have done the Pella's quest before going all the way out to that swamp. I think that's how it was supposed to go. Because, for instance, I never talked to her about why she's here, why she has a year of service. Geralt shouldn't know that. I imagine I was supposed to go there looking for her and find out that was her. Although I guess sapping her of strength explains why she seems so old.
We had a deal. I've done my part. Your turn to do yours.
A word once given. Now what did I last...
Basilisk. It had just attacked you.
Wait, a basilisk?
Ah, right. Gargantuan.
I thought it was a griffin.
One solid brute.
I imagine it turning people to stone is just a myth in the Witcher universe.
It landed right in the thought we breathed our last.
Watch out!
Oh, that thing's...
If I don't survive this, you're
ugly.
to take whatever you want from the fortress.
You'll survive!
Let's show this bastard what we're worth.
Oh, I'm poisoned. And I wish to move. Oh, coincidentally, here's the end of the episode. So I guess this will be a great time to just leave off for a second. Can I save? Nope. Oh well. Well, have a good time. I'll be back in like 20 minutes to record another episode. Till then, I bid you adieu.